from my basement as a contractor and eventually grew it to 18 states and 173 million in sales. Booyah, baby! I just think that the vague term negotiated claim is being misused to make people think suddenly you can't act as an American citizen and entrepreneur because that violates the Constitution.
And I looked at him and said, look, if you change this plan, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions down the road. See, that's when I got in as a sales guy doing this, knocking doors.
What do we do? Like, how do we grow? We had no idea.
What you've created here now is like unbelievable.
And everybody's ignoring what we saw with the 95% of property casualty claims, which are $10,000 claims on average.
Exactly.
Booyah, baby!
This is our country. This is our liberty.
We're live. Are we live? Hey guys, Anthony Delmedico, SVG. We're live in the speakeasy with Jonathan Sherwood. And we're going to talk about coatings, a little bit about the winter storm, a little about foam. What brings you out here to Arizona?
Jumping some roofs. Obviously, it's cold everywhere else, so this is the place to be if you're a chemical
Dude, it's
roofer.
cold here today.
Yeah.
It's cold here today.
Yeah, it's been cold the last 2 days out here, but this is the place for chemical roofings, especially in Q4 and Q1. So I like to be out here in Arizona. Plus, you got palm trees.
Now, you were last on a speakeasy. Was it 2 years, 3 years ago?
Going on 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, this will be my fourth Win the Storm this year.
And you were in my old office.
Yeah.
At the old speakeasy.
Yeah.
And we left off when I left 4 years ago. You had you'd gone to Win a Storm the year before because we didn't know each other then.
Mm-mm.
You came on the second year, and you said that something there had changed the way you conducted marketing in your life.
Yeah, that conference pretty much set the tone for where I'm at today because I really wanted to see Gary Vee. I'd heard a lot about him, but I hadn't heard him speak yet. And I knew he was a little rough around the edges. You know, some folks, he drops cuss words and stuff. We're roofing contractors. We hear that every day. But I remember him saying one thing. He said, all of you listening here today, one of you is going to do what I'm telling you to do. You're going to document what you do, and you're going to give away the value absolutely for free.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last several years, that's what I've been doing. I branded myself.
I remember you told me that 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You said, I picked something up great from your conference, and you started popping up on news feeds, on top of roofs, doing your thing.
Yeah.
And that's why we invited you in. You're very visible. In fact, it was last year you won Most Influential.
Mm-hmm. That was Win the
So
Storm.
most influential. Hats off to him for that. That's not easy to win that one.
No, that wasn't an easy.
You got to have your feelers out there. It's based on a lot of votes, a lot of different things. Now you can't win again.
No.
You can win something else.
Yeah.
Are you up for any other awards?
Best marketing industry entrepreneur.
Okay, good. So we got a good award there. You're also an ambassador, so to say, for some of the VIP nights.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be emceeing, so to say, at the industry award night,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of exposure, a lot of rowdiness. Remember last year?
Yeah.
It was tough to be heard on
Last
stage.
year was wild.
Now, last year we chose the venue, which was by the way, last year was great. The venue that place just wasn't ready for 2,000 or 2,500 people to show up all at once.
Yeah, 2,500 roofers is a lot.
Overwhelmed the bartenders and all that. But we still had a good time. We made it work.
Yeah.
But I remember running out to. I remember literally running to sending people to the liquor store to buy bottles of liquor for the people who got VIP tables because the bartenders just couldn't deliver fast enough. I mean, there's just too many people. We didn't plan on that many people coming. So, and when they show up all within 10 minutes, it's a quagmire.
It becomes a madhouse.
So you've done a lot here in the last 3 years. So when I met you, we were working for one company out of Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're your own company doing independent consulting for roofers,
Mm-hmm.
for contractors, especially in the coatings, commercial, and foam area.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little about that.
Yeah, so I was working for a company in the DFW Metroplex. I had started with them. I took several years and then got them in the top 150 companies, kind of put my stamp on it, but outgrew it. Saw it'd be more advantageous to start branding myself and do a little bit of everything. You know, I do a lot of workshops. I'm known for the Roofers Helping Roofers program. You know, that consists of consulting, workshops, training in the field. I'm even putting their shirts on and helping procure the contract.
Did you put their shirt on?
Yep, put
Nice.
the shirt on, represent them, procure the contract, and then do full turnkey applications on foam and coatings.
Do you
for 'em.
cold call?
Do I cold call? Fortunately, I don't have to cold call because of Gary Vee. I have enough stuff going on with social media that,
There
you
you
know,
go.
I usually get 3 to 5 organic leads every day, every 2 days, and just kind of go through those, vet them, make sure they're sustainable for
Right.
commercial, and then start working those leads.
So if your contractors watch this right now, want to learn more about coatings, or perhaps put a coatings division or small commercial division in their office, you actually go on site and help them set this kind of stuff up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's business, and I go into it knowing that business is stealing shamelessly. So if I can duplicate myself within their walls, they should get to a point where I originally do a workshop and train them, make them dangerous. Maybe I'm out there in the field showing them how I sell the job, how I get all the data that I need to make the proposal, how I bid my proposals, to the point where they'll just send me stuff full turnkey, to the point where they may have their own in-house operation after I'm done, and they'll continue growing. In fact, I just had a case study with that with Select Construction, who's up for top growth this year. They were last year, but G&M beat them. Yeah, Rhett. Yep. And I remember when they started, and they hadn't done anything commercial. We've done several 100,000 square feet together, and now they're operating on their own, and they're shaking and moving and just getting things done. So pretty proud of them. And I was actually just on the phone with him pulling in here, and we're just giving him my blessing on going out and starting his own in-house coatings division.
Nice.
Yeah.
So talk about coatings. Some of these guys watch this right now might not have ever dealt with coatings.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into coatings here in Arizona because it's a big coatings market, especially the foam. And the October 30th, October 10th, 2010, in a $1 billion hailstorm here in Arizona. Never hails here, but $1 billion fell out of the sky in about 20 minutes. Wrecked the west side, a lot of shingle roofs, a lot of AC units. And then after we were here for about 3 or 4 months, Paul was actually here during that storm as well. We started noticing the flat roofs, about 50-60% of the flat roofs here in Arizona are foam. And as you know, even quarter size hail with high wind velocity is going to crack that elastomeric coating, sometimes even break the matting of the foam, in which case you got a full replacement opportunity. And then the foam game became a game to play here in the latter part of 2011, which really added another 5 or 6 million in sales for us. I think we did 12 million that year out the gate. That's an interesting adjustment, inspection, and process to understand elastomeric coating. How much of your coating business is insurance versus retail?
So for me, I'm predominantly turnkey sub and retail. I'll occasionally get a collateral damage loss and get that claim. I call those my home runs. I might get 3 or 4 of those a year max. Last year I got 1. But working with a lot of other contractors, they've already
gone through that process. Okay.
So I'm coming through on retail, and then I do a claim here and there, but I work on roofs that, you know, are on average 100,000 square foot. When you have those guys, especially in the DFW market where I do majority of my business, it's the #1 hail damage state in the United States. It's not their first rodeo. They purchase those, and they know that those insurance loss is going to be ROI for them. So what they'll do is you can line them up with the PA, or they'll have their PAs. They'll go ahead and get all of that taken care of, and then you'll give them an aggressive retail quote, turn it, burn it, and then get paid right away. So I do a lot of retail more than I do.
So you do a lot of sub work for prime contractors or roofing contractors that might want to go with the coating.
Yeah, sub work, and then retail direct to the consumer would be the majority of my business. But I do get the occasional claim.
Now tell me, do you prefer the foam with the elastomeric, or you do the other acrylic type coatings? Or
so for me, I love foam. You know, a seamless system, a monolithic system that's waterproof, as opposed to almost every other type of roofing system, which is just water shedding, is the way to go. And with it being closed cell, it doesn't usually allow any type of content damage beneath the roof line. So that makes everybody happy underneath. And then as far as the elastomeric, the only thing that foam doesn't do is it's not protected from UV rays. So we got to put some sunscreen on what's doing the heavy lifting. I like to go with an acrylic, or I like to go with a silicone. So what'll usually make that decision for me is if I have a full foam restoration, I usually use the acrylic just as my sunscreen. Now I'm known for the hybrid. So I'll do foam as needed. Let's take a metal system, for example. It's already got positive drainage. So I'll do panel overlaps, fasteners, flashing details, problematic areas with foam, and then the rest of it do a silicone on it, and let that silicone, since it's a non-sacrificial product, do the rest of the heavy lifting for that system. So if it's got partial foam, I like to go to silicone. If it's got full foam, I like to do the acrylic. Sometimes I'll use an acrylic on a partial foam, but only if it has positive drainage.
You done anything down in Tucson?
I haven't done anything in Tucson.
Okay. Yeah. Different market there.
I've been itching to, though.
They got a lot of coatings there, but not foam. And then you come here, there's a ton of foam. It's almost like somebody went a heyday here. Like
we must have been on 5 or 6 foam roofs today. I mean, foam's everywhere out here.
Everywhere.
I love it.
Now, foam's also predominantly in Southern California. Texas has quite a bit of foam, but Arizona's got a lot of foam too.
Yeah, I've seen more foam here than any other markets that I've worked.
And is that Southwest? I'm assuming it has something to do with kicking back the sun. The white. The RV rays and all that.
So the Energy Star rated coatings that are elastomerics that we're talking about that go over the top of that foam obviously are going to do well with.
You don't see a lot of those in Minnesota, for example.
No, you don't see too much of those in Minnesota.
And sometimes you get out there and some of these, there's like 6 inches of foam.
Oh, you can find quite a bit. You can find quite a bit.
And then you Scarify. Remember, we used to Scarify versus replace it all the way down the decking, which is messy, pulling it off the decking.
Oh, yeah. It looks like confetti's going all over the place. But the plus side of it is, you can cut off the blown cells or what is actually failing. And underneath that, usually will have a good pass and then just reapplicate to that.
Is it usually like 1 or 2 inches on when you Scarify?
It depends on how much is on there. You want to take down to wherever the failing part is. So, if you have an inch and a quarter, which is pretty nominal, you may take down a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then put a new pass over the top of it.
I remember we used to meet, in the 2010 storm, this area was smoked here and all the way out to the west. You go down to Mesa. You're staying down in Mesa area, right?
Correct.
Mesa, Gilbert. 1 inch hail, 1.5 inch hail. We get on some warehouses down or stuff like that. You meet the adjuster. Of course, the sales guy wants full roof replacement. And then we bring out the sales manager. The owner would come out on a re-inspect, which is usually me. And the conversation would start, well, hey, this is it's marginal. We have to bring out an engineer. When you offered up the coatings as a stick, you're just like, really, you do that? I mean, well, yeah, because the customer gets a 10-year labor warranty. They're happy, from these guys that we subbed out to get a 10-year labor warranty. The insurance company just saved $1 million. Now they're putting on a $185,000 coating instead of $1.8 million re-roof. And you're in and out of there, less liability, not actually tearing off the roof. Sometimes that's the better way to go than fighting, 1 year in litigation, appraise all that for a roof that's marginal.
No, I agree. You get to turn and burn. And the plus side is, there's an efficient system for every consumer's investment. If it's a prime candidate for restoration, it's the way to go because we're going to get the same warranty durations as you are with a new system.
10, is that 10 years,
15 or 20 year? It's going to be 10, 15 or 20 year, and it's going to be based off of the DFT or the dry film thickness of the top coat. So the more chemical you put down on the roof, the longer duration of that warranty is going to be according to the manufacturer specification.
Now, we used to use a little, I can't remember the name of it, but you could actually, you'd screw it in through the elastomeric coating. You could test to see how many mils thickness it was.
Oh, yeah, slit sample.
Yep. And if it was more than, I don't remember, it was a 220 mils or 45 mils or whatever. It was 220 a square.
Yeah.
Remember that. If you got that extra 45 mils or 50 mils, it was almost a double layer of elastomeric coating. Some of these had a lot of, had a thicker layer, and you would actually get that extra 220 a square. I don't know, do you see that going on the insurance side anymore? Or?
Like I said before, I didn't do a lot of insurance stuff, but I have involved in a lot of the slit samples that come from the manufacturers when they're doing the post-job survey to go ahead and approve their material warranty.
Based on the mill's coating thickness.
Yeah, the mill thickness, right. When it's cured, becomes DFT or dry film thickness is what they're going to base the specification on. So we'll do a lot of slit samples as the job progresses so that we can be proactive and stay ahead of the post-job survey so that we know when they come out there, we're not light in any area. So we're going to get that quick thumbs up on the material and labor warranty.
And what's the typical mill thickness on that elastomeric, for example?
So for us, it depends on what you're using. So if you're using an acrylic, 40 something percent of that's going to be water. So it's going to be a water base. So, you're going to put on, let's just say you put on, 40 mils and you're going to end up with something in the, mid to high 20 ranges, as opposed to a silicone that's going to be 96 to 98% solid. You're going to put on 40 mils and end up somewhere in the mid 30 ranges of DFT. So it depends on the type of product that you're using and what type of warranty duration that you're going to. We like to do just on average at a minimum 2 gallons per every 100 square foot or 2 gallons per square.
That's about 40 mils.
Depending on what you go with too, because for instance, if you were to go with a modified surface, it's great because it likes to bite down that coating, but it's porous. So it just eats coating sometimes. So you might have a specification that's telling you 2.5 gallons per square for that specific warranty, but then you're putting it on and it's just sucking up the coating and you might have to go 3.5. You might end up putting 50 mils on there just to make sure you don't have some light spots where you're able to see right down through that coating.
Now, coatings, the other reason coating's attractive for the guys watching this right now that aren't familiar is it's less is it not less liability? You're not tearing off the actual roof.
Well, yeah, and so people like it are going to give you the thumbs up because it's considered the green approach, even though it's chemical roofing, for the simple fact that you're not tearing off and you're not filling up landfills with debris. The other plus side of it is you're not getting hammered on municipalities, because just like painting your house, it's preventable maintenance to try to prevent water intrusion. Same thing, we're enveloping the building, so it's not permit driven. And then another plus side of that is, depending on where you're at, what market, because we use Energy Star rated products, you can get tax credits. And then because you're doing a restoration and not a new complete system, even if would be a layover, you can write it all off in one taxable year.
Probably
so a lot of advantages.
You might find something under Section 179 for that, for commercial, which is where you get that big tax deduction for the for restoration. So you're not so you got less liability. Let's say you're at a manufacturing facility or a grocery store. Obviously, tearing off the whole roof can be a cumbersome experience. The coatings is less liability. It's also attractive from a profit standpoint. It's typically a higher profit margin than a roof replacement, and you're in there and you're out. I mean, what is a typical 100 square coatings flat roof? What does that take in terms of manpower and time?
You can be in and out on that in a couple days. Yeah, and depending on what time of the year, it's a little different. When we're in this time of year in different markets, we're dealing with wind and moisture. That slows us down. We're not your typical roof. We'll wait till later in the day, dry the roof off. We might start 10 and 11. We got high winds. We may just have to shut it down. But when you get into prime roofing season and we can just turn and burn and even work at night, we can knock those things out in a couple days.
That's nice. And I remember those adjusters used to like them because they're like, oh, God, here's litigation, here's appraisal, here's 6 months or whatever. And you're like, how about we do a recoat? I'm talking about the marginal ones where, it could have gone either way. And they liked that. And it actually it was a win-win for the insurance carrier, the property at the time, and us as a contractor. And we're tearing off the roof. And actually, it's a more profitable job. So if guys want to learn coatings, learn this, maybe launch a division. Now, do you need a license? You're not actually doing roofing work.
So you don't need any type of permitting. Depending on what market you're in, you may need a license. In Texas, we don't have any license.
Right.
You say you're a roofer and then you're a roofer. So it depends on what market you're actually in. But as far as the permitting aspect of it, you're not going to be needing a permit. Now, occasionally you'll have a municipality that will require one because they want to pump some money in to require one. But in most cases, like I said,
like Florida, you might have to check. I used to have a license in Florida.
Dade County will. Dade County? Yeah, Dade County is one of the ones.
Because anybody on a roof has to be a licensed.
And they also require a pool test and a thermography or water test. If there's more than 25% saturation in Dade County, then you're not even allowed to restore a roof. It has to automatically be torn off. Yeah.
Or if it's out of code, even.
Yeah, or if it's out of code.
You can't do a 25% repair. You get the 25% repair rule. So if it's out of code, then you got to do full replacement. That actually works in the favor of the property.
So coatings take a lot longer out there too, because once your client is entertaining the idea, they have to actually be committed, because then they got to spend money on the moisture reading, then they got to spend money on the pool test, and those may come back not in their favor, and then they're still stuck to replacing a roof.
All right, guys, you heard it from John Sherwood. If you need help with coatings, he's willing to come out on site. You got to schedule you in. You'll also be at the Wind and Storm Conference. Let's talk a little about that. You volunteered to help us out and be the VIP ambassador, which comes with a speaking responsibility and industry award night, by the way. And so if people, I've seen you've created some videos for us for the VIP experience, which is we're appreciative of. You're also representing Roofers Helping Roofers at the Wind and Storm Conference, as well as Roofers in Recovery.
Correct.
So tell me about those two organizations.
So Roofers Helping Roofers and Roofers in Recovery both come for just having a real heart and passion for the industry. Like celebrating other contractors and other vendors' wins. So that's kind of where Roofers Helping Roofers came together. It just kind of started doing, some FaceTimes with guys on roofs and answering questions and doing some workshops, and wasn't really looking for any type of monetary gain. And it just became what you see it is today.
Now, did you trademark that name?
Yeah, I actually did trademark that. It took about a year and a half.
Remember, showed you mine?
Yeah, to get some trademarks.
I didn't trademark my name until 2000. Sometimes you forget. You start a business, you get caught up, and you forget about the little things like, hey, you got to trademark your name and do all that kind of stuff. Yep. I think I was 4 years late on mine.
We got a pretty cool thing right now, too, in those that are listening. You can put in roofershelpingroofers.net, and it'll take you right to about a 15-minute YouTube video that'll give you 4 key tips on how to be successful in commercial contracting and sales.
Nice.
So we give that away as well.
Nice. And now Roofers in Recovery, and we did a little donation of that about a month ago. You guys raised quite a bit of money.
Yeah, I think we were just shy of $100,000.
Yeah. And now that's used for...
The main target for that is to vet those that are in need of recovery that don't have the finances to put themselves into recovery, and then get them into rehab so they can start the program and start working the steps.
Nice. Did you guys find some good candidates for that?
Yeah.
Did you?
The Reeds have been working hard on that. And I was talking to Paul.
That, yeah,
I was talking to Paul earlier today, actually, and he said he found a prime candidate for it that he's getting ready to work on. That was something that was really on their heart. They really kicked that up and flagship that. And I just had the honor and the privilege to be on the board with them, and same with Eric O, and just kind of help them fulfill, their vision on that program.
Well, I know we did our GoFundMe for David Wilk. He used to work. He worked here for about a year. He passed away last Saturday night. I actually brought him into the business in Chicago in 2013 as a sales guy, and then he worked for, they worked for the Reeds for a while down in Denver, and we found out last weekend about what happened. So we raised, I think our goal was to raise $25,000 for his mom just to help out with the funeral expense. I think we're at like $15,000.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, just off the Facebook page.
Yeah, so the last thing that family's going to want to deal with right now is financial stuff with the loss of somebody so young. And I've had a lot of phone calls with that, and that name's got brought up a lot lately. And everybody that I've talked to, that young man had impacted their life in a very positive way. And one of the things that everybody's been saying is he just was always so willing to help somebody else with nothing in return. It didn't matter what it was. If he was setting up ladders or doing core samples or just working with somebody, that guy was just a helpful guy, and he affected a lot of people in a positive way. I was just speaking to him a couple of days before that happened because he had landed one of his first large commercial jobs.
Yeah, I saw that, flat roof.
And he had put out a post on the SVG page, and then him and I got talking, and I was just talking to him a little bit about it. And, so it was cool to see him go after that. Just a real tragedy, real sad. I know he was working the program though, and I think that he's definitely going to be.
Yeah, he was living in a sober, clean living facility. Yeah, so it was unfortunate. So guys, if you are watching this from Facebook, pinned to the top of the page somewhere, you'll see a link to a GoFundMe account for David Wilk. That money's going to his mom on Friday night, and I'm hoping to fly out there Friday. I got to check the funeral. There's kind of Illinois still got the weird 25 per 25 people physically can be at the funeral. Yeah,
from what I understand, they're going to be streaming that actual funeral.
Yeah,
too.
So make sure his family gets there first, and then see if we can get if we get a spot, we'll fly up there and but definitely we'll make sure his mom gets that Friday night. That'll help alleviate some of those costs. So we're looking forward to that. Thanks for your support, whoever threw into that. We appreciate that. Now we're also. Are you guys doing anything at the con? You do any breakout sessions at the conference, at the Winter Storm conference?
Now, I know we're still working through all of that stuff. I believe Roofers in Recovery, we're going to be having a booth or an area. We're going to do some type of breakout session.
We usually host a non-alcoholic activity of some kind.
Yeah, and then we usually have meetings for those that want to attend. We had some of the best meetings at Winter Storm.
By the way, I'm drinking water tonight because Jonathan Sherwood doesn't drink. There's a lot of stuff behind us here. This is actually, by the way, Joseph Hughes.
That's pretty
cool.
Sent
me this last year with some whiskey in it, but we're drinking dry. We're drinking water and coffee tonight.
Yeah.
Well, good. We look forward to having you out, guys. Winter Storm Conference and Trade Show is it's piping up to be a big one. It's going to be the biggest one yet. We've already beat last year's numbers in terms of attendees. We're doing a big push under the WTS Ambassador Program, putting 10, 20 guys on as outside sales reps just for a month contest. Giving away 2 VIP tickets, TW Mock with TAD Recovery Services volunteered as jet round trip for the winners, and then 5 nights at the Higgins Hotel. So that's anybody who sells or refers in. They don't have to actually sell. They can refer it in to Kaylee as long as she processes the order under their code. That contest starts February 1 to March 1, and we pay them. They get 10% sales commission. So there's a lot of sales guys out there up north. Like I was an early industry sales associate in Minnesota and Illinois. There's certain months there just ain't nothing to do because it's so cold out.
Yeah,
you're just not really out selling.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see who kind of grabs on that opportunity because obviously I like the competition, and I guess the Roofers Helping Roofers Code's been drawing in quite a bit.
You've already been referring.
Yeah, so I want to see what these guys do. I love competition, man. It keeps everybody healthy, keeps everybody strong, and this is the competitive mark in the industry for us. So I'm waiting to see who's going to come step up to the plate and go for the home run.
We got Brian Arnold, Lee Wilkerson,
David Summerly.
I think there's like 8 or 9 people already signed up.
Elizabeth from Business 411. Yeah. So we got some good competition.
Besides the commission, the big thing I think that's important, you get the jet airfare, that's nice, but also you get the 1 hour on main stage. Yeah. Meaning you are the panel moderator for the $1 million producer panel.
Huge
likely
exposure.
So you're up there with the top 10 $1 million producers, passing a mic, maybe get 5 minutes of intro, talk about what you want. Yeah. But it's a lot of exposure on main stage. I think that's special. And you're up there with the top players in the industry, which is special. And you get to hang out with them at the VIP theme night. So it all ties into the same thing. I know you're heading out. You're meeting Paul tonight. Paul Reed's in town. And hopefully we do a steak dinner tomorrow night. Yeah. We got Maple and Ash. We got Toca Madera. We got all the good steakhouses right now.
That'll be my last night in town, so that'd be a good way to kick off.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Dallas. Thanks for coming in. I know you got to run and meet Paul.
Absolutely.
And if you guys are looking to hook up with Jonathan Sherwood, Jonathan Sherwood. How can they get a hold of you? Maybe they want some help with their coatings or commercial division. Maybe they want to just say hello. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, one of the easiest ways is just contact me through Messenger, direct messenger, just under my name, Jonathan Sherwood. And as I said before, you can go to that roofershelpingroofers.net. That's going to give you a free video, 4 key tips on what actually made me successful. And it comes down to knowing your client, knowing your craft, set expectations, and slow down when it comes to commercial. Or you can just find me on any one of the social media platforms, and my media team will get back to them and line me up with them. But just here to help.
Excellent. All right, guys. Hope to see you guys soon at the annual Wind and Storm Conference and Trade Show Expo, March 31st, April 1st, and 2nd. It's hard to say that. March 31st, April 2nd, 2021 at the New Orleans Convention Center. See you soon. Booyah, baby.
Look, I'm not here to inspire you. I'm here to help you make more money.
You're here because you have a vision of yourself doing more, achieving more.
If you're not putting out content, you're invisible. Whether you're a roofer, whether you're an entrepreneur, this is business.
You can't always control your situation, but you can always control your attitude. I don't think my problems outweigh yours.
You have to take control over your situation so you can lead your lifestyle by design.
Well, we eventually developed a system. We had 3 office production men, one for roofing, one for siding, one for miscellaneous trades. And that system was born out of 30 days because if we didn't do it, we would have died.
And not negotiate the claim.
What does that mean? You know, I'm not talking about negotiating a claim or acting as a lawyer of public justice. I'm just talking about being an entrepreneur.
It will change the course of your career.
Wind the Storm 2021. I am super excited.
I'm absolutely jumping out of my skin. A lot of us guys have been locked in the house for COVID. We're scratching at the walls. You know, some of you guys were go-getters, made a lot of money during COVID, but a lot of people were scared. And so I think this is going to be one of the best events ever because it's been a year. It's one of the first events in New Orleans, and we're excited to go.
Let's start off with Tuesday. We have John Hoteling's Ferrari Garage.
Is John Hoteling?
John Hoteling.
He's one of the biggest guys in Louisiana and New Orleans. He's the boss. I'm excited.
Yep, there's over 20 exclusive Ferraris in there. We got the Star Wars characters.
Cocktails?
Like the Space Cruiser. There's cocktails, don't worry. So Wednesday we have the Brown Mansion. So this is one of the oldest mansions in Louisiana.
Mansion or mansion?
Like 22,000 square feet.
I go to a lot of fancy places. I mean, this place is going to be sick.
9 bedrooms, 4 stories. They have concerts there. It's huge. Thursday we have the Bourbon View Street. So that's the largest balcony on Bourbon Street. It overlooks the French Quarter. You can see all the architecture. There's weddings there, private events. It's a nice place. Friday, we have the Industry Award Night.
Everyone's been voting, right?
All these people were voted by you guys, nominated. So that is our week. We are very limited on tickets, so call right now and I will get you a special deal. You do not want to miss VIP.
I'll tell you right now, my guys ain't being behind the red line. Can I get some tickets, Kelly? Kelly.
Hello? You need tickets?
I need tickets, Kelly. Kelly!
little bit just on the VIP.
What?
All right, we're back. And I'm with Kaylee McIntosh from SVG. And we wanted to dive in just a little bit on what to expect each night of VIP. I know there's some pretty amazing stuff. I think we have the Tuesday night. What's going on Tuesday night?
Tuesday, we got John's Ferrari Garage. So if you guys haven't been there, there's over like 20 exclusive Ferraris. He has the original Star Wars characters. It's a huge garage. It's really cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing those at Win the Storm last year. He had that RV and everything kind of set up, and it was amazing to see some of the original stuff. I think my favorite was that cruiser that he had in there that you took a ride in at the end.
Yeah.
And then I think that next night we go to the Brown Mansion.
Brown Mansion, yes. So this is also John Houtaling's house, but it is huge. Like, that is an understatement. It is about like 22,000 square feet, 9 bedrooms, 4 stories. I'm super excited for that one. I've never been.
So we're running 7 p.m. to midnight Tuesday, 7 p.m. to midnight Wednesday night. Then we head over to the Bourbon View, which isn't it one of the largest balconies, I think, on St. Charles?
Yeah, so it overlooks French Quarter, so you'll be able to see everything, the architecture. I'm looking forward to it.
And then the last and final night, which is my favorite.
Industry Awards night.
Yeah, and that's where
most influential last year.
Yeah, I got to pass that torch. So it's time to pass that torch on to the next most influential. I think we got like John Wood, Steve Patrick. Who's the other guy?
Matthew Mulholland.
And
then Philip Sanoff.
And Philip Sanoff. So one of those guys are going to be the next most influential. I'm going to be going for the best marketing industry entrepreneur. That'll be fun. I think the thing that brings the most value to VIP, though, is you have the opportunity to network with some of the pillars in the industry. And I know that's done a lot for me. And this is the way that I look at for those that are listening. You want to come there with a plan of action. If you're going to bump into, your Eric Hunters and your Steve Soleils and your Paul Reeds and myself, know what you're going to ask these individuals and then be ready to plug it into your actual business. Because here's the thing about being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs find out what works quickly, and they do that by trying different things. Now, with that being said, not everything the entrepreneur tries is going to work, but entrepreneurs, when it doesn't work, will fail their way to success. So that's the thing I love the most about the networking in the VIP.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to go VIP. That's the way to go.
And then the last thing is you guys put together this ambassador program, right?
So
Tell us about this ambassador program.
We just got done finalizing it today. So we're giving away, basically, I'm looking for 20 ambassadors to help promote Win the Storm. It's a good sales contest, so everybody's going to sell tickets, GA, VIP. You will get 10% commission on all of your sales.
Oh, wow.
And also, so first place will get 2 VIP tickets. They'll get a fare on the private jet from wherever they want. Owner, sales rep, whatever. Any of you guys can do this. Private jet to New Orleans.
All right, so they're going to get 2 tickets. They're going to get private jet ride, courtesy of TW Mock, several nights at the Higgins Hotel.
10% commission, and then they'll also be the panel moderator and host for the $1 Million Producer panel.
Wow.
On main stage.
A lot going on. So with that said, how I'm going to wrap it up is if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, I can offer you 2-for-1 VIP, 2-for-1 general admission, or 20% off of vendor, table, and booths if you use Roofers Helping Roofers, all one word, all caps. All right, make sure you're there. Make sure you reach out to Kaylee.
See ya, guys.